Hey folks, it's Cement once again, coming out with another winner, and that is Assassination Games. Or, I think I reviewed this film once before actually, and that's probably still up. If it's not, maybe it was on my old... No, I think I did. Because I remember saying that this might as well be titled Assassinate Your Asshole. Because this is one of Van Damme's worst films, and it's definitely one of his most overrated films. Because I don't understand how it gets a 6.2 on IMDb. For that fucking mark, it might as well be called In My Damn Butt Cheeks, because the whole thing fucking stinks. Assassination Games, I would say a piece of shit, but you know what? That wouldn't make sense. You know what would make sense? A piece of piss. You wanna know why? Because first off, the fucking film is filtered as if it's yellow, as if someone took their dick out. Hey, crew of Assassination Games, take your dicks out, paint it, and piss and whiz all over the screen, so that it looks yellow throughout the whole fucking film. Why? I don't know why. Because apparently Ernie Barbarash, or whatever the hell the guy's name, who directed the new Pound of Flesh, which that's coming out soon, he thought it was a good idea that the whole film was piss yellow. Now, this film also co-stars Scott Adkins, who could be a really great action star when he's doing films like Undisputed 2, which I enjoy. Undisputed 3, which I enjoy. Ninja 2 Shadow Tier, which I enjoy a lot. Hell, the first Ninja is better than this movie. He did another one. I think it's called El Gringo. I haven't seen it, but I would guarantee it's better than this movie. And what kills this movie is that it's just insanely boring. It also kind of hurt my eyes because, again, for some reason the director was a genius. And hey, let's make the whole film piss yellow. Why do I want to watch a film? That's literally one of the ugliest fucking colors you can make a film. Unless you made it purple, or not even purple and pink. At least if it was pink, I'd be like, that's weird. Or purple, I'd be like, that's strange. Are you going for, what the hell are you going for? Green, make it neon green. Yellow is just, what's good about yellow? You just say lemons, but when you eat lemons, they give you face. That's why they say, oh, this movie's a lemon. They're not saying it's a good thing. Man, that car's a real lemon. That's not a good thing. Yellow also means piss, as in either get pissed on or pissed off. Yellow as in your chicken shit. Yellow is a horrible color. Big bird is a big bitch. Okay, no matter what, yellow is a horrible color. So why the fuck are you making your movie look like yellow? And you are, okay, why are you putting so much into it? Because it's the first thing that pops in my head. And I don't know why this gets such a high rating. Van Damme is once again in a zombie state. Once again, like the hardcore, I think this is one of his weakest performances. Just because he does the dead eye, acting like a zombie, doesn't automatically mean he's having a good performance. There gotta be moments where he expresses some emotion. He does that in Six Bullets. He did that in, hell, even fucking Cyborg. He did that in Wake of Death. He did that in Death. Until Death, I should say. He did that in Replicate. He did that in Hell. This? No. Him being a fucking dead-eye zombie doesn't make a good performance. Scott Adkins, he's not given much to do. The bad guy beat the fuck out of his girlfriend in the past, and so she's in the coma. He's been watching her. Finds out the guy's coming back. He's pissed off, wants to kill him. He also realizes he's probably going to be bait because the people he worked for want the money that Scott Adkins stole. So to put him out of hiding, let's release the guy that Scott Adkins would want. And the thing is, the beginning of the film, other than the piss yellow filter, had some promise because, okay, Van Damme's an assassin. He's a waiter. He looks like he spilled something on this guy. And when he pulls back, you see the guy do this. Really nice effect, practical effect of a slit throat. And then going through the kitchen, picks up a meat cleaver, throws it, hits a guy right in the head. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Fucks up a guy, walks away. Okay, cool. And then we just got Adkins' story. Okay, he's taking care of his comatose wife because it was, like I said, beat the fuck into one in front of him. And then Van Damme has this room where it looks shitty till you open, and there's this secret room where it looks very nice, which I thought, okay, that's a cool idea. So if someone breaks in, they just think of it, oh wow, this apartment looks like shit, he has nothing. Then you hide the good stuff in your good room. I like that idea. Okay. He seems like a very particular, if something's a little bit out of order, he moves it a little bit. And Van Damme has a pet turtle. And the big subplot of he tries to pet the turtle on the head and the turtle goes in the shell. And I'm like, well, of course, you're trying to pet it on his head. If you're that small and you see a big thing going, you'd be like, okay, get a finger on my face. I'll get to that. Like I said, I forget what organization, if it was whatever Scott Adkins worked for, group of guys, one of them has to be Jean-Claude Van Damme's son, because I guess that's one of the things that when Van Damme's working in some of these direct-to-video films, yeah, put my son in it. And for a while, it seemed like Scott Adkins was Jean-Claude Van Damme's secret project. It was his chemistry project, or if it's his genome project, to be the next Van Damme. But who knows, maybe Scott Adkins will get to that. You never know. He's made some, well, there are a couple, but not too many, honestly. But they want Adkins, so they released the bad guy that Adkins wants. And at the same time, Van Damme, you realize that he gets paid in diamonds and he puts them in his vault. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? You have a shitload of diamonds. Why don't you go and use them? What the fuck are you waiting for? I think even someone is asking him that question. You got all these diamonds. What the fuck are you waiting for? I'm like, exactly. What the fuck are you waiting for? You have this nice room where you play your fucking violin. Did you ask to Mars? Did you ask off to a yacht? Did you ask to America? I don't know. Go somewhere. Go anywhere. What the fuck are you waiting for with these diamonds? But the little subplot with Van Damme where his neighbors treating this woman like shit and beating him. Oh, I mean, he's beating her, which comes into play later. But they're both hired. Once it's personal for Van Damme, he gets hired to kill this guy. But then Scott Adkins hits Van Damme's van, and then Van Damme's van, when he gets hit, his arrow hits the bad guy's brother, so the brother dies. And even though Scott Adkins guessed that it was probably, this whole thing was to use him as bait, he still walks out in the middle of the street, plain as day, to just go up and get the guy. And of course, what happens? He gets shot because he's a fucking moron. I'm thinking, you got a sniper rifle. You got a fucking sniper rifle. And I can't get the shot again. So why you go down from there to here, go around the corner, and then pop with your sniper rifle? Pow! But of course you did that, the movie would be over. But no, even though he even said himself it's probably for bait, he walks up in the middle of fucking, everyone can see him, so he gets shot at and he runs and he beats up like 2 guards and then gets away. Then you go back to Van Damme's useless, uninteresting fucking subplot where the guy's beating the woman again with his belt and Van Damme's trying to play the violin and he's like, stop it, and then hits and knees the guy. And then the guy leaves and the girl can't get back in the room. Then she pretty much begs Van Damme to let her in, and Van Damme ultimately does. Then tells her not to stay there, not go anywhere else. Then we get to almost the 40-minute mark where these two characters meet. And you did a very mediocre fight. Where they they get a little struggle, and Van Damme gets a couple punches and kicks on Scott Adkins. Which, to be honest, I hate to admit it, but Scott Adkins should have had a bit more hits on Van Damme, considering you see the most that Scott Adkins can do. Van Damme pulls these knives out, which the guy Scott Adkins blocks, and then they both pull pistols on each other. And man, these two have no chemistry together in their back and forth dialogue. They have zilch nada chemistry. It's like a fucking piece of board and a piece of tinfoil acting together. It doesn't work in this film. If you don't have Van Damme, have him act like more of a human being. And Scott Adkins is not the best actor. I mean, he's trying to get there, but he's a little bit rough on the edges. I had no problem with him in Ninja 2, but again, in this, he's a little bit rough around the edges. I've seen a lot worse, though, so I'm not going to complain that much about it. So they decide to work together, and they talk to this hardware guy to see where the bad guy's at, and you have this remote-controlled gun, which I think is this fucking stupid thing, because it doesn't make any goddamn sense to me. Apparently, this laser, if it points, wherever it points to, the gun will follow and tu. Which in this scene, I'm like, okay, but then when it gets used in the last scene, I'm going, oh, really? Oh, okay. And I just didn't appeal to me. He gets a little bit of info, and then Van Damme shoots the guy in the back with a shotgun. And then Scott Adkins tries to act and goes, why did you do that? I want him to go to his bad guy. And then Van Damme goes, if you want a partner, you have to learn how to communicate. I'm thinking, man, you gotta do more than communicate, man. You gotta have some fucking chemistry. You gotta have some fucking good dialogue. Hell, you guys need to sit down and watch Tango and Cash. Or Showdown Little Tokyo. Much better movies than this. I bet they don't need a fucking 6.2 on IMDb like this film does. Fuck this movie. It's boring piece of shit. If you like the film, fine, but please feel free to let me know what I'm missing. Van Damme's performance, he acts like a zombie. Okay, is that a good performance, really? The action. What action? We're about an hour in, I've already explained the action. Once or twice, Van Damme cuts the guy's throat and the meat cleaver at the beginning. Has a little scuffle with Scott Adkins. Adkins hits about 2 or 3 guards' ass. There you go, for like an hour, okay? There's no chemistry. And then Van Damme, his subplot, where I guess is the subplot. The point is that it'll show him game a little bit more humanity because the girl's talking to him. She found his cool room, and he tells him, fuck. He tells her to leave, and then she pets the turtle. And then Van Damme goes, how did you get him to come out? Because she pet the shell. No shit, Sherlock. You're supposed to be this big assassin that knows everything. You don't know that you should just pet the fucking shell? Not, here's a tiny turtle. Let me go. Oh, hey, let me go at your head. Hey, why is his head leaving when my big ass finger are going to his head? Don't pet his tail. It'd be like trying to pet his dick. Don't pet his head, because he probably thinks you don't crush it. The girl had to show him that you need to pet a turtle on the shell. I've never had a pet turtle. I could have fucking figured that out. Come on now. And then this pontificating, I'm a weapon. I don't choose where I'm pointed. Then the guy who was beating the girl earlier wants the girl back and tries to be tough, and Van Damme goes, I bet this scares the girls. And then you just have the bad guys talking with each other. They get some info from one of Atkins' friends. They cut his ear. I'm like, oh, cutting ears. I'll just watch fucking Hard Target for that. Hell, a better movie. With action in it. And it's not filmed in piss yellow. And with a better director than Ernie Barbarash, whoever the fuck his name is. I'm not even gotten his name right. There's another film he did. Let me see. Did I even get his name right? Yeah, I did. Okay. Wanted to make sure. Sorry about that. Pretty much Van Damme works to set Adkins up. Adkins is trying to fight these guys off and gets caught, ready to be tortured. Van Damme also gets fucked over because, of course, he killed the bad guy's brother. And he calls Van Damme and says, hey, there's this girl here. And Van Damme pretty much tells him to fuck off. And the guy who Van Damme works with, the guy's like, oh, you're overreacting. And Van Damme goes, if I overreacted, you'd be dead. And gets home and finds the girl dead. I mean, granted, the turtle's alive, but the girl's dead. Kind of a grisly way where she's on the bed, but she's been cut to pieces. And now this is when Van Damme is going to be more of a hero. Because Atkins getting tortured. Van Damme shoots a couple people. Scott Adkins chokes the shit out of Van Damme's kid and kills Van Damme's kid. Van Damme gets him out. And then you get a really lame ending. Where the bad guys found out where Scott Adkins' woman is at. And they get there. They're caught. Bad guys going to kill him. Scott Adkins, Van Damme make up an argument, and of course that remote control gun. Pretty much all Scott Adkins does is a flip, two, which I guess if your laser is here, even though the gun's over there, like shitload, feet after feet after feet. But you're pointing the laser here, but then it's shooting over there, and it whatever. It's not supposed to make sense, I guess. Fuck it. If it was a good movie, I wouldn't give a fuck about it. But when you get bored, you think of stupid shit like this. Really, that's it. Van Damme grabs a shotgun and kills one guy. And not even the fun, gory way. And then Scott Adkins gets the main bad guy, tells him, hey, ask her to forgive me. Oh, guess what? She can't hear you. Stabs the guy in the back. And then it cuts to Van Damme I think he kills the asshole who was beating up the girl, which I thought was decent. He cuts the guy's head off with a sword. And then a bad guy who's sort of the head of the people that were trying to use him as bait, Atkins shoots it with a sniper rifle. Then the last scene is Van Damme lighting a candle because the girl mentions, oh, if I'm gone, light a candle to remember me. If I don't seem like I have much energy, it's because it got fucking zapped watching this movie. I'll admit, the next film they did together, Six Bullets, which I thought was a decent film, but that's an Oscar winner compared to this. Pound of Flesh I have no hope for, though. And I don't understand why this film gets praise. I don't understand why this film gets the pass. I don't understand why this film gets a 6.2. Please, someone tell me. Anyone over there? Anyone over there? Anyone up there? Anyone down there? Can someone please tell me why? If you like the film, let me know why. It's not the acting. What acting? Van Damme being a zombie, monotone, no emotion. How is that acting? How watch Wake of Death, Until Death, Replicant, In Hell, JCVD to see some acting from the guy. Scott Adkins. Hell, this is, I think, one of his worst films, to be honest. Might even be probably is the worst film I've seen that Scott Adkins was in. Hell, if you want to watch Scott Adkins, watch Undisputed 2, Undisputed 3. Watch Ninja 2. Hell, even I can say Expendables 2 is a hell lot better than this movie. Not a big fan of Expendables 2, but even I can say it's a hell of a lot better than this. The Shepherd Border Patrol is better than this. Definitely. That's a better director, Isaac Florentine, which I'll get to down the road. Piss poor direction, and I do mean piss poor because the fucking yellow filter looking like everyone in the crew dropped their trousers and pissed on the screen. Pretentious dialogue, slow pace, boring story, ponderous pacing, lack of action when it's there. Good points, some decent bits of gore. The slit throat at the beginning, Van Damme cutting the head off near the very end, fighting the girl who's been cut to pieces. Okay. The ending, it's a very lackluster ending. It's a very almost anticlimactic. You're with the bad guys and all he has to do is does a flip and with the laser and then they just get shot. And then Van Damme shoots one guy and that's pretty much it. Not even a big mano-a-mano with a henchman or an extended shootout or anything. Assassination Games, I thought this was insanely boring. I don't understand the praise. I don't understand the pass. The only pass this should get is a pass through a fucking ass. Which makes sense considering that's the first 3 letters of the damn title of this movie. Ass. The movie. That's why I kept saying, assassinate your asshole. Because that's where this movie's fucking coming out of, so you might as well get rid of it before it passes through the asshole. But anyway, enough of the shit, enough of this shit, literal shit, piece of shit, one of Van Damme's worst. It's hard to pick which is the worst Van Damme. I know that this film, Derailed, which I'll get to, The Hardcore, those are 3 of his worst. I hate Street Fighter. I would rather watch Street Fighter than any of those 3 movies I mentioned. And I don't like Street Fighter, but I'd rather watch any of those, that over any of these 3 again. Because Street Fighter is dumb, and it's boring. But at least there's some cartoony stuff that at least there's a couple stuff I could laugh at, like his speech, or, well, you're man enough to fight with me. That one scene is better than any fucking scene in this movie. So that's how Street Fighter gets the pass over this movie. And Raul Julia is a better villain than any fucking villain in this movie. So yeah, fuck this movie. Overrated piece of shit. 6.2 my ass. That's like one of Van Damme's most highest rated movies. Why? Please explain. I'm all ears, as Dolph Lundgren would say in Universal Soldier. Thanks for watching, take care, and fuck this shit.